Hey, what's up guys? This is Anthony from Anthony's Customs, and for this review, we are looking at the Storm Collectibles Gears 5, because we can't say Gears of War anymore, it's not cool enough. Augustus Cole, who is probably the best character in all of the games, which is, it's a good thing they made a figure of him. Bad thing that it's from Gears 5, which is probably the least successful Gears game ever. I'm guessing, I don't know about actual sales, but I don't know anybody that is a big Gears fan that liked it more than, like, say, 2 or 3. Just putting it out there. If you are a Gears fan, let me know your thoughts. I thought it was a significantly more boring game than the previous versions, but you guys can let me know what you think. Anyway, we're here about the figure. Is it any good? Is it not any good? I don't know. Let's find out. Let's take it off the stand and take a closer look. This guy stands just about 7 3/4 inches tall, which makes him pretty close to 20 centimeters. And the reason I haven't reviewed these earlier, I just got them now and GameStop discounted them a lot, is because the likenesses weren't great and they were from the game that I don't care for of the franchise. Let's just look at the likenesses real quick. That's the game model. That's old Cole, by the way, not young Cole. We did get a young Cole head, we'll talk about it. So there's the model, and there's the figure. It doesn't look like him. This looks like the Black Spock from Star Trek. What Star Trek was that? I don't know, I'm not a big Trekkie. I think I did watch that. Was that the Voyager one? I think that was Voyager. That looks like that guy. Honestly, it looks a lot like that guy. From my memory, anyway. Doesn't look like the game model at all. That's a bummer. Otherwise, the figure does look pretty cool, though. I was thinking at first that the white paint on here doesn't look great, but it actually matches the game pretty well, so that's good. And then lots of detail work. Storm's usually pretty good about paints, and they did a decent job here for sure. No real issues with any of that kind of thing. It's just the likenesses, not great. I would say, even though in 5 they did tone down the tree stump build of the characters a little bit, these guys are slightly slender for what they look like, but I think it's tolerable. You know, they're awfully chunky in the game, so this is probably okay. So aesthetics are solid. They're definitely fine other than the face. So I'll give it a 7. The face is a big deal. It doesn't look anything like him. It really, really doesn't. It looks like Beefy, not Spock. I don't know what the guy's name is. Okay, so as far as accessories go, we have the 2 heads. We have the old head, and then we have the throwback head with the chin strap beard. It's definitely a better head. I think it's slightly more accurate, but it's definitely not, it's not that much more accurate. It's still pretty far off. It's a decent enough sculpt, but it doesn't really look like him. We do have his football helmet. I know it's not actually football. I can't think of what it's called right now. Boom ball? I doubt that's it. That sounds terrible. It does fit on him fairly well. It's a little bit oversized, but it's going to look okay on the shelf. It doesn't stand out as being terribly big because of how bulky their armor is. So you do get the helmet, and it's nicely detailed. Get the little logos on the side there. That's pretty cool. As for hands, we have the 2 fist hands, 2 trigger finger hands, 2 gripping hands for holding the fronts of guns, and then 2 wide open hands. So decent enough spread there. We do have his pistol. I cannot remember what this pistol is called. Not the easiest thing for him to hold, but he can get his fingers on it. We have the, burst. This is the burst rifle. What is it called? I can't remember. I'm sorry. He holds that well enough. Very nicely detailed. And then we have the Gnasher. I remembered that. The Gnasher shotgun, which they can't hold at all. Their fingers don't fit in the trigger guard thingy. It's not really a trigger guard. Whatever you call it. They can't hold it for crap. Nicely detailed though. Got a nice knife, a big knife, and that's it. Not a bad batch of accessories, but having limitations on holding the actual firearms, not a great situation. So I'll go, still a decent spread. 8, I guess. That's probably being generous, but lots of accessories, hands, heads. That's probably decent. Okay, as for the articulation, it's pretty much your standard Storm articulation, just instead of Street Fighter clothes or Mortal Kombat clothes, it's this stuff. So it's pretty much the same stuff on the inside. We have a double ball peg for the head. So we have the ball peg up here and then one down in the body. It does seem like you can really sit these heads too far down on that ball peg. You're going to want to be careful about that. But you can pose it around nicely. You get some nice organic looking poses with them looking down and to the side and whatnot. So that's pretty good. I like that. For the shoulders, it's, again, all the same. We have the ball peg that lets the arm move around. Obviously, we're somewhat encumbered here by the armor. Can't really blame them for that, so that's okay. What kind of range do we get? Better than horizontal, so that is nice. Full rotation. I'm getting some squeaking. It sounds like a lot, but you can tell there's different types of squeaking, and you can tell by how it feels, how severe it is. It's not that bad. It could get worse. Sometimes that kind of thing gets way worse very quickly. I'm sure you guys have experienced that, where it moves fine, and then as you pose it more, it gets tighter and tighter. That seems to be the case here, so be careful with that. But so far, it doesn't feel like it'll break, so I guess that's good at least. Bicep swivel is fine. Double jointed elbow, very limited. He's kind of thick, but a little bit better than 90. That's okay. We have ball hinges in the wrists. You'll be able to pose those hands around pretty nicely. For the torso, it's a double ball peg. You do get some gapping if you go to the extent. You can adjust for it though if you want to, but you get lots and lots of range. You're not going to have any trouble posing his torso other than to avoid gapping. They could have done a little bit better, but it's fine. And then same thing for down here, other than the gapping part. It moves around pretty nicely, so that's good. The belt is floaty, and the crotch is a separate floaty piece. You end up with disconnections, even though they're not supposed to be separated there. So it's kind of a finicky figure, despite not being all that complex. But it shouldn't really be a problem. You should be okay. Keep his diaper in place and you should be fine. You can see that just moves around. Okay, now for the hips. Going out to the side is definitely limited on both sides, so that blows. Going forward on this side, it's okay. I mean, that's probably enough. It'll do. It's not the most range, but again, it'll do. You can stretch his butt cheeks out a little bit and bring the leg back, so that's okay. On this side, how's it work? You can force it up there. It's not bad. I think that'll do. I mean, he's got this big old pouch on there. There's not much you can do about that. Same thing going back. It's less, but it'll do. I wish they were a little bit tighter going forward and back, but it's not floppy, so I guess that's fine. Thigh swivels are there, but not by much. Double jointed knees give decent enough range, about 90 degrees. We have this big floating shin armor. Not sure why they made it a floating piece. That's a little strange. Yeah, I don't know. That's very strange, actually, because it's all new sculpt, obviously, so why is it a floating piece? I don't know, but we do. The leg armor is floaty. Ankles. Go back a little bit. And go forward even less. That blows. Toe joint, as you can already guess. It's just... Why? Why do companies even do that? Like, if you're not gonna... Just don't put it there. Why go through the effort of making that? It doesn't do anything. Just don't do it. You do get an ankle rocker, which isn't at a terrible angle. It'll do. It'll be good enough. Why is the camera not focused? I think it's focused back here. Stop it. Focus up front. So it's not terrible. Yeah, the articulation's not great. His legs are definitely limited, but his upper body seems to be fine. So I'll give it 7. That's okay. So final verdict on this guy, it's about what I thought. It's not like it's anything incredible. It's good enough. If you're a big Gears fan, especially Gears 5, or just Cole in general, like I said, he is probably the best character. Remember that song at the end of Gears 1 that was just him swearing a bunch? I like that. Anyway, it's fine. I'm going to give it a final verdict of 7. Especially if you can get it for a discounted price, go ahead and pick it up. It's gonna be perfectly fine. Am I excited to have it? No. Am I upset that I have it? No. It's okay. I may end up selling it to my buddy who wants one because I don't care so much about it, but it's still a decent enough figure, and he couldn't get it on the discount. So anyway, it's fine. Let me know what you guys think in the comment section below, and we'll talk. So thanks for watching, guys. If you enjoyed the video, please do give it a thumbs up. If you didn't, give it a thumbs up, and if you haven't subscribed, give it a thumbs up and subscribe, because I have new videos almost every single day and thousands already on the channel. Come back for all of that good stuff, and I'll see you next time. No, and what do I say? Oh, keep collecting.